It's Trial Tuesday. We're talking about athletes and drugs, those performance-enhancing ones that often get them in some big trouble. Attorney David Aylor is here to explain. David, always nice to talk some sports with you. Let's get right into this. Melky Cabrera made headlines last week. Lance Armstrong, his title's all stripped away, and he says he's not going to fight anymore over those charges that he took those PEDs. It seems to be more rampant in society these days.
Well, I don't think it's more rampant now. I just think there's more testing now, particularly in baseball because, obviously it got the worst reputation. But cycling has always been a sport that's been considered pretty dirty for a number of reasons related to PEDs and steroids and things like that. But what at times a lot of people get confused about is, what type of drugs are these people doing? Are they illegal street drugs, or are they something you can get from a pharmacy? And that really varies.
Let's talk about that Melky Cabrera case, because he actually went in and they're saying right now he's accused of really making a website, trying to develop a website to cover his tracks. That's got to be pretty illegal.
Right. It was his associate or something like that he paid to put together a website. And basically what they were trying to do there is when you have a positive test, for the Major League Baseball, you can actually go through a hearing. I represented a player, so I've got a little bit of experience when this happened. He had a positive test or something. And basically what happens is you have various ways that you can sort of explain away, if you will. So they tried to create that website as if it was a product that he had bought, over the internet, and had no idea it had these illegal substances in it. Clearly, the MLB quickly figured out that was not the case, and they will look at, potential criminal proceedings for the guy that did it, and maybe Mr. Cabrera himself.
Let's talk about that trickle-down effect, because, high school kids, middle school age kids, they play sports, they emulate these guys, and we're seeing that those performance-enhancing drugs are starting to trickle down into the high school level. So what's the big problems with that and the legal challenges that it presents?
Well, the biggest problem is usually the access to these illegal drugs. You can still order a lot of things off the internet, believe it or not, and people think, well, if it's illegal, it's going to get blocked coming into the country. But that's not always the case, because there's so many different chemical combinations of things that people use for performance-enhancing drugs related to steroids, hormone type of pills. And so a lot of things actually do go through, come over from Europe, come over from other countries that don't get caught. And then once the kids in high school get a hold of it, one guy kind of tells another guy, or one lady tells another lady, and then it really starts to spread. But the bottom line is it's just illegal as any street drugs when you actually have them yourself.
A lot of popular arguments for people when they get caught is that they didn't know what they were taking. They thought they were taking one thing, and it turned out to be another thing, or a combination of illegal substances. Is there still any validity to that argument?
There is, because there are some things that are on the ban list of certain sports that are actually legal drugs that you or I could get with prescriptions and things like that, and some that are over the counter that you'll find at a GNC, that type of thing. So occasionally you will see something that will pop a test that is actually something that a person was not aware of. But however, if you're particularly an athlete getting paid millions of dollars, you would either want to have someone on your staff that helps you with that, or make sure yourself you knew what you were taking ahead of time.
Well, let's bring it down to the amateur level. High school kids that are out there, what's the best way that they can defend against getting in trouble with these performance-enhancing drugs?
Really, if you want to take something and invest on that level, you're not going to have an agent clearly or anything like that. The best thing you can do is talk to your coaches. Let them know, hey, I really want to try to take this. I've read on the internet, or I've read in a magazine that'll help, repair my muscle, or it'll, do many different things. And then you let them take a look at it, because they're going to know a lot more than you, because they've dealt with it in the past.
Right.
The problem people get in, particularly at that age, is when they just jump right in and don't look into it.
Attorney David Aylor, thanks so much for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure. All right, we're right back with a way to use your cell phone to make teen drivers better. Stay with us.